Sexiness is not about how you look, it is about how you feel and the energy that you exude. So I truly believe that everybody can be sexy no matter what. Just follow these 5 tips. Hey love, welcome back to the Self-Love Garden. I'm your host Ana Marquez, and I am here to help you fall madly in love with yourself and your body. Woo! Today I am going to be sharing my top 5 secret tips to sexiness. So if you are longing to feel sexier and more attractive in your body and in your life, then this one is for you.
I'm sexy and I know it. I'm sexy and I know it. Sexy and I know it.
This is something that I have really worked on cultivating in myself. I remember a few years ago, I made it my New Year's intention to bring sexy back, like Justin Timberlake. This is because I was feeling tired of just feeling so insecure in my body and feeling sluggish and feeling unattractive. I wanted to reclaim sexy for myself. And I think that's a really key point, that feeling sexy and being sexy is not about what it does for others, pleasing others. It is about feeling good in yourself and cultivating a relationship with yourself that excites you and gives you energy. So let's throw out the window this idea that sexiness is about objectifying yourself and about pleasing other people. You deserve to feel sexy because you are sexy and you have that within you, and that is a beautiful flame that you deserve to ignite because it can give your life experience joy and freedom and pleasure. Okay, so top secrets to sexiness. Tip number 1. Find what you love and do what you love. I don't think there is anything sexier in a person than when I see them fully in their element, when they're doing something that they just love doing. Because when you're doing something that you love, there's a certain type of contagious energy that you emit that is so alluring and so attractive. I have friends who are dancers or athletes that when I've seen them play games or when I've seen them perform on stage, they just exude this lusciousness that I'm like, oh my God, they are so alluring and so attractive. But it doesn't have to be performative. And I think this is something that I've actually really had to untangle myself because I'm not really a performer. Even though I have done dance before and I love it, I've never really enjoyed the performance element. I always get really shy under pressure. But there are other things that I love to do that really cultivate a sense of inner confidence. So for me, some of those things are sharing my message of self-love. This is something that I am super, super passionate about and really care deeply about. Even though I'm still learning along the way, when I make these videos or I write a blog post or an email or come up with new ways to communicate how people can love themselves, it ignites something in me. It ignites a sense of purpose and enthusiasm that gives me energy for the whole day. And I really notice how it influences the way I interact with other people and the world. It makes me more receptive to experiencing goodness, and it also makes me feel like I can give more. It makes me feel like I am more in my authentic self. So find things that you love and do those things. That could even be things like reading. It could be a really quiet activity. It could be playing video games. It could be going on walks. It could literally be anything under the sun. And there's probably not going to be just one thing. There's probably going to be a lot of different things. And it's worth taking the time to do that. I think where we can also really get stuck here is when we start trying to do things because we think that's what is attractive or we think that's what would be sexy, but inside our souls, it just doesn't feel right. So really pay attention to how the activities you're doing make you feel while you're doing them and how they make you feel afterwards. And you really want to look for those activities that help you get into what's called a flow state, that state where you just lose track of time because you're in the moment, you're just enjoying yourself. So find things that you love to do and take time to do those things. Number 2, connect with movement and move your body in a way that feels good for your unique self. I think that something that is so alluring and so attractive is when you see somebody who you can tell just fully knows how to move their body and knows how to shift it in ways that is unique to them. And there's something that's really deeply enticing about that. And I think a really great example of this is the Savage by Fenty shows by Rihanna, which is one of the reasons why I love Rihanna. But if you watch these shows, there are literally dancers of all different shapes and sizes, and every single one of them is out of this world sexy. And I think a big reason for that, not is it just that they're amazing dancers, but it's because each one of them really knows how to connect with their unique body. And I think it's a huge testament to the fact that every person can be sexy and is sexy, and there is so much diversity within that. A comparison I will make is like the Victoria's Secret fashion shows. I feel like that was always what was viewed as what was sexy, but when I watch those personally, yes, I think those women are sexy in like a superficial way, but they're also super, super objectified. And to me, that is kind of a turnoff because I find what is so attractive about being a human is the embodiment of being a human rather than just performing your body for somebody else's viewership and pleasure. So take time to learn how to move your body and connect with your body in an authentic way. And that can look different for everyone. That might be dancing, that might be running, that might be walking, that might be gardening, but just take time to get to know what feels good in your body. This is something that I've also taken the time to do. I, for the longest time, tried running, and it was horrible. Like, my body does not like to run. It does not feel good. And after I would run, it would not give me this runner's high that I heard some people experience. And I think it's because my body was not really meant for that. That's not the direction and way that my body likes to move. My body has really natural curves and really likes to move fluidly. So I personally have been really drawn to dances like belly dance and salsa, or just even taking time in my room to connect with music. And that's an activity that I would encourage you to try, is to put on music and just see how your body wants to move. And do this without being in front of a mirror. Do this without anybody else watching, and just notice. Do you like to move fluidly? Do you like to really take up space? Do you like to just kind of vibe? Do you like to jump up and down? Do you like to move your feet? Do you like to move your arms? Really take time to be curious about the ways that your body likes to move. I think embodiment is one of the sexiest things anybody can really lean into. Step number 3, take time to connect with your senses. And all throughout the day, you're connecting with your senses in different ways, but a lot of us go on autopilot and we're not really taking time to pause and smell the roses, so to speak. So what I invite you to do is really intentionally take time throughout your day and really notice what sensations you are experiencing. So when you are putting on lotion, really feel how that experience is when you're putting on lotion on your skin, on your legs. Take time to really touch the texture of your legs and your body and feel what that moisturizer feels like, and just allow yourself to indulge in that sensation. And as you do this, notice what sensations you like and which ones you don't like. The same is true for every other sensation, not just touch, Take time to really smell your cup of coffee or the perfume you put on or the candle you light. Take time to listen to the birds in the morning. Take time to really listen to that song that you have had on repeat. Listen to the rustling of wind between the trees. Really connecting with your senses is going to allow you to connect with your body in a unique way and connect with the sensations that make you uniquely human. And I think this is a really important thing because part of connecting with sexiness is really connecting with an energy of being alive. And I think that's what connecting with your senses does, is it connects you to the feeling and awareness of really being alive in the present moment. Step number 4, take time to find your unique style and wear clothes that really make you feel comfortable and confident. And if you need some ideas on this, I actually made a video called How to Reclaim Fashion as a Tool for Self-Love. So there's some great tips in there. But what I will say is when you are really connected to your own personal style, you naturally exude a sense of confidence and attractiveness more than when you are wearing clothes that just don't quite fit you. And I don't even mean in just a literal sense, but clothes that don't quite fit you in terms of your personality or the energy that you bring. I know I went through a period for a few years where I was really trying to stuff myself into very business professional clothing, and I didn't quite find my style of how to dress in a way that I liked in an office setting. So I was wearing these really boxy, uncomfortable clothes that I'd constantly be adjusting. And when I looked in the mirror, I just felt so disconnected. And the clothes themselves were fine, but they just did not suit my personality. They didn't suit my body. And so it caused me to feel a lot of insecurity and really made me feel not sexy. When I allowed myself to lean into the silhouettes that really complement my body, like having things that cinch in the waist or more flowing pants or bodycon dresses or crop tops and things like that, that's when I really started to feel sexy and confident, because I was not only dressing for my physical body, I was also dressing for my unique personality and vibrancy. And again, when we talk about sexiness being an energy, you're just going to naturally bring a more positive, enthusiastic energy when you're wearing things that you really love and that you really like. The last tip I am going to give you, and this is probably the biggest one and really encompasses all the other tips that I gave you, is to take time to get to know yourself. I think that one of the biggest things that makes people super, super sexy, and when I think about the people that I have found to be really exuding a sense of attractiveness, is that each one of them is really connected to their core inner self. It's like they constantly have this pillar of inner knowing that they just really stand confidently and hold themselves high. And I think that really comes from a place of them really taking time to know who they are on the inside. So take time to journal, take time to reflect on yourself and your life story and get to know yourself, what you want out of life, what your desires are, what your fears are, what your hopes and dreams are. Because the more that you really know yourself, the more you are naturally going to gravitate towards doing things that you love, engaging in sensations that you really love, moving your body in a way that you love. All of these things that I mentioned above are going to come more naturally and easier for you when you really connect with and know who you are at your core. Obviously, this is a lifelong practice and takes time, but it is so much fun, and I believe that everybody deserves to feel sexy, and I believe that everybody has it within them. It is a fire within you that is ready to be ignited. So try these steps. Let me know how they go for you. Let me know which one is your favorite, and write it in the comments below. If you liked this video, please be sure to like it and subscribe for more. I'm always creating more content on ideas of how to love your body and yourself. So if this is something that excites you, please be sure to subscribe. I can't wait to see you again next time. Take care.